Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm actually getting the review done on time this time. So, let me go and jump right in and say that I really like this episode. Now, there are reasons that I could see why somebody wouldn't like the series. Maybe it's too slow for them. Maybe it's not enough of, the original Psycho. Maybe it's because it's set in modern times. And while I can see all these complaints, I like it enough and it's my review, so here we go. Now, this episode was a little slower, but it really helped to develop more of the character bonds, and at least a little bit more of the story, and that's what I liked about it. Now, first off, Emma was back, and Bradley wasn't in it as much, so I like that. I like how they're taking different relationships and focusing on them with each episode. Last time was definitely more Bradley. This time has a little bit to do with Emma. So we start out with the Norma-Emma relationship. Emma's really trying to help Norman, and I believe she's honestly really trying to do it. I don't see why she wouldn't be. I don't trust Bradley, but I trust Emma. Of course, Norman tells her about the body, and she does some research. And this is one of the things I did not like about the episode. I'm going to say it because I'm at the part where I'm going to talk about it. There are two parts in the show where it focused on a screen. One was Norman's cell phone screen, and he was texting Bradley. The other was Emma was looking at the computer for Key Summers' boat records. Each time, it was kind of out of focus. It was kind of hard to see. You kind of got a glimpse of what it was, but you couldn't be sure. The only reason that I was able to do it was because I went back and paused it with my DVR. Now, it's not a big complaint, really. It's just something that needs to be done a little better. But, this is really starting to let me like Emma more. I've always liked her a lot better than Bradley. I've always liked her character. Not like I didn't like Bradley or Bradley's character. It's just I don't like her. Because I don't like that character archetype. She plays it well, but you understand what I mean. Anyway, Emma figures out that the girl is in the boat. And I think Emma's very smart for thinking that. I'm glad how she figured it out. And this is really driving me to like her character more, like I said. She also starts to really doubt Bradley. She's always been doubting Bradley. And while I don't know if you can really say this pertains to the show a lot. If you go on the A&E website, you can read Emma's blogs, and there's one where she talks about she doesn't like Bradley because she's getting too close to Norman. So if you look at that in that way, you know that she already knew, or at the very least had her suspicions, before Norman really, explained to her and, told her that, hey, I'm with Bradley now. And there's another thing that Emma said, that Bradley never changed her relationship status. These kids are still young, so you know how they work. Now, the relationship between Norma and Norman is getting strained. It kind of got better at the end once the evidence was taken away, and I'll get to that whole thing later. But before that, when she was busted out of jail, they were always constantly arguing back and forth. And Dillon seems to be a big part of that. So there seems to be a family quarrel going on, which I think is going to really add to the series and get more drama and get more tension. And that's good. That's what the series is good at. So that's one thing I really liked about it. Now, between Dillon and Norman. We've already know that Dillon and Norman have been fighting forever. That's clear in the last episode, all the last episodes, or whatever. They're strengthening. Now, whether, like I said in my last review, whether Dillon is trying to use Norman in order for his own gain, I don't think he's doing that. He may be trying to get him away from Norma, but overall, I really think that Dillon is trying to honestly help Norman, at least in his own way. Of course, he's asking for the money, and his friend gives him the money right before he gets shot. Again, I'll get back to that later when I talk about Shelby. But he asked Norman hey, move in with me, you know. I got a place by the beach, great view and all that. And even, he said, even if Norma doesn't get arrested again, that he wants Norman to move in with him. And like I've been saying last few, it's really starting to develop Dillon's character a lot more. At first, I did not like Dillon. He was too stale, but at least he's getting better. Now, Shelby and Norma, that hasn't really got strange yet, but you know it totally is. They find the girl in the boat, and I thought this part was really tense and really well done. I honestly thought they weren't going to find anything, but you're hoping they are at the same time, so you're really watching and really wonder what's going on. Of course, when Norman was starting to open that big door, at that point I knew, of course, the body's going to fall out, or she's going to fall out. Of course she did. She was screaming and all that. They took her back to the hotel, and this is where, you know, shit is starting to get changed with Norman and Shelby. There's no way that Norma can deny what's going on. She has honest proof that Shelby is mixed up with this shit. So, you know, she has a newspaper and, you know, the girl's testimony and all that, and it's great. Now, the story's progressing. It wasn't as much of a story progression in this one, but at least it did enough to keep the series going, and I like that. I like how it's balancing the relationships and the story. I think it's doing very well. A few things I gotta say about the story. I was right about the girl. Yes, I think most people probably thought that she was real and she really was captured, but I'm glad she was. I'm glad it wasn't just a figment of Norman's imagination, unless he's so crazy that he's imagining everything and all this stuff. I really don't think he is. I don't think he'd imagine quite much that Emma would go with him and find the body, not the body, but the girl, and all that. Another thing, Shelby. I really think he's going to get screwed. I really think he is. The reason I say this is, of course, he says he loves Norma, and I'm starting to believe this. I don't think it's all about sex. I think he actually cares for her. I mean, why else would he go so far out of his way to get rid of the evidence? But I think that's going to come back and bite him in the ass. The reason I say that is because there, as far as we know, there are only two deputies there. Him and Regina, just a random character that was there for plot. He sent Regina off. And while he's doing this, he disables the cameras. He takes the evidence and gets rid of it. We don't know where he put it, but you know he gets rid of it. Of course, he puts the cameras back on. They know the evidence is gone now because Norma's case is dropped. But they're going to do an investigation, obviously. And then I'm like, oh, the evidence is gone. Let's just forget it. They're going to notice that it was probably gone when the cameras went out. And they're going to investigate and know that only Regina and Shelby are there. And they're starting to get suspicious. That's really going to come back to bite them in the ass. So, you know, except for really how badly the screens were shot, I'm really liking the series right now. They could have done better than that. They could have done more lighting. I mean, I'm not a camera expert. I've never really shot much besides these, and these definitely aren't professional. But that should have been better. And I know they can do well, good shots. Like in the last couple episodes, I think it was 2 episodes ago, 2 or 3, when Norman fell out of his chair at school, that was shot really well. So I know the camera work can be really good. But in this one, everything else was done fine. It's just those screens, and that's just a teeny nitpick. You know, just get out of the way. Well, that's all for this week. You know, I'm back on track now, guys. So, peace out.